tried it.
What's up,
Well,
guys?
here I was bringing a
Hey,
borrowed
how you doing?
car.
You mean a stolen car?
No, it was borrowed.
Bag says, please ignore it. I'm just a medic today. I think this is us for this session, so we can probably just get it going. So I'm glad you guys are here. I don't know what your experience levels are, but it don't really matter. Things do change between servers. I had some experience in other servers, and when I first started, it was hella confusing for me. I didn't know what the hell to do and all that stuff. So watched some videos and played some stuff, and then decided to, build this community. So I just want to cover mostly the controls that you should be using, could be using during an RP scenario, because those are there as tools for you to, use them. The emergency services, like the EMS and the mechanics, and then civs play really a big role, because if they pretty much lead the whole RP scenario. So the cops can't really make stuff up. EMS can't really just ask you, oh, let's see, you got a bleeding. Like they can't just make stuff up. The civs need to create the scenario, what's going on through the scenario, and then the emergency services kind of react to it. So the storyline begins with the civs, and then the services kind of continue it on based on what's growing. So the role play is really just meaning creating realistic lifelike scenarios and see how people will kind of react to it and where it just takes you. So we'll just start with the basic commands, the /me, do, and then tweet. Those are, and then of course the OOC out of character. So those are used during the RP scenario. Not a huge difference between me and do. It's just a color difference, so you can really use either one of them. That's for when you're doing an action or asking a question, as in, well, for example, if you're searching a vehicle or searching the person and say, what do I find? That you can use for me, and then you can use the do when you're doing things. For like Goofy, in your case, say you're working on a person with a broken leg or arm or something, or you're pulling them out of the car. That's where you would type / do, pulls person out of the car. So those are the commands. You feel free to play with them. And then OOC, out of character, obviously, is when you are trying to notify people around you out of character. You're mentioning certain things to them, or you need to stop. Without stopping the RP, you're giving them information. So that's what you can use the OOC for. And then the second most important thing is your animations menu. So if you hit F3, you're going to see at the very top, I made a sub group called roleplay. Those are most used roleplay scenarios, so you don't have to search through the whole rest of the categories. Take a look at those, and then we'll start with covering with the EMS ones. Well, there you go. Asmat already just got on his knees. That's usually what happens when you stole a Lambo like that and you get arrested.
That thing's bought and paid for.
I know. So you can actually also do a /K. That is also your surrender. Hands up, Neil. It's more animated, so feel free to try that. There you go. There's Goofy.
And how do you get up from them? Like, say I want to.
You hit the Z button.
Oh, okay, thank you. That was my problem. I didn't know how to get out of the animation.
Yeah, Z will get you out of the animation. So currently Z is also tied to our tablet, but I'm removing the tablet because unfortunately for security reasons, the CAD does not work with that tablet. So it's kind of useless unless I can find another button for it. I'll move it to something else. But yeah, you can use the Z to get out of an animation. So the most confusing one is people say, okay, I got killed, so what do I do? When someone is dead in the game, you're not technically dead yet. You know, you got that timer going on. It gives you a 10-minute timeout and then 2-minute early revive. That one is done. That one's there for when you don't have EMS, or you're not in the role play area and you're you know, in the city doing jobs and stuff. But you have a whole lot of time to really wait for EMS, and then if you let the timer run out, basically you're just going to go spawn at the hospital again, and that, you know, you're not necessarily dead. Now during an RP scenario, you need to be honest and make the call based on kind of where you got shot, and what the scenario was. So if you know, you can kind of play it as you were wounded, or if you want to just kill that character and play it dead, then you can just play it dead. So how do you play it dead? When they come and start working on you as the EMS, you know, starts doing. So for example, let's play a dead scenario here. If let's see, Kilo, you wanna just here? Yeah, you wanna just die?
Yeah.
That's a funny question. Oh my God, so many buttons pushing together. Okay, so he's dead in game, and the way you can tell that is his body's pretty much a beanbag at this moment. You can tell that he's dead in game. What the EMS? What I would do in this case is, you know, you go ahead and use the, you know, the observe animation. So you kind of get next to him. Exactly. So you start like that, and then you actually start typing. Well, you can talk to him first. You can say, "Hey, so, you know, sir, can you hear me? Like, are you there? Oh, you revived him already. So don't revive him yet. This is what we're doing. Is we're gonna go through like the proper EMS steps here. So I would come over and I would be like, sir, can you hear me? Are you all right? So if he doesn't respond, then we start using the text. So the first thing I would start typing is that, you know, I would do /me, and then say, I would write down, you know, checks. Son of a bitch. I just realized I've been talking this whole time, but my text boxes was open, so I wasn't talking with you guys. What was the last thing you guys heard I said?
The text, the /me.
Yeah, that's where it cut off. Okay, so I'll back up a little bit. That's what I would do, the /me, but they actually played it along just fine. he said no pulse, he's dead, exit wound. So then the EMS has no reason to start CPR on him or anything like that. If he were to said, I got, bullet wounds, non-lethal, then the EMS can play it with like, starts CPR, applies bandages, stops bleeding. So anything that you can just kind of come up with, what would you do if you run into a situation like this? How would you help out a person? So that the RP will either evolve between the communication between those two people and people around them, or it'll just basically come to an end based on how the civ or the person that's being treated once played. In this case, he just said clear headshot wounds. So you would just put him in your ambulance and take him back to the hospital, or just call in a coroner and kind of go from there. So then how the scene continues on, because he says he pretty much makes it clear that he doesn't want any more RP. So then you just place him in your ambulance, and then take him outside of the scene here, and then basically just release him, and he goes back in the world, and the role continues on. So it's not really just rushing.
Skylar, one thing I just wanted to add, man. When I do that too, a lot of times it's because I want to do a character change, and it's a great segue for a character change.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just let that character go and get another one in, just because you kill him doesn't mean he can never come back. It's like Kilo mentioned. It's a nice way to switch characters and switch roles and just get something else going. So it's a communication. It really is. It's just based on where the RP is going, using the ME, the me and the do commands. Things where you can talk, it evolves by talking, and then where you need to do actions, then you just let each other know by just doing the texting. And those commands are actually, they cannot be seen throughout the whole server, so you don't need to worry about it. The OOC, the out of character, can be seen through the whole server. If you use the me do, those actually only happen in this area. It only stays within the role play area. So don't worry about spamming the text or anything like that. It doesn't go to the whole server. Only this area will see it. If you do tweet, then you're sending it out to the whole server. For example, if you're trying to sell drugs, you're sending out a notice, use the /TWT, I'm sorry. If you're using the text box, you should always be using either the out of character or tweet for announcing to the server, and then me and do for the roleplay purposes. If you just type it in, your character name doesn't come through. We can see who you are. We can see you in the player list. So if you're trying to do some shady stuff, you might want to use the out of character, so cops don't necessarily know what player number to look for. So you don't want to just give yourself up right away. Start making things up for you and see how you're going to react to it. So don't just revive them and be like, all right, here you go, see you later. I mean, that's not RP. RP is just going as long as they want to go. And if you come across a scenario where you are not capable of handling it anymore, call for a backup, or call for a supervisor or things like that. If he says, oh yeah, my legs are broken, I can't move or anything like that, feel free to run back to the back of your ambulance and type in the command and say, takes out the stretcher, and then walk back to him, and then just type in again, just puts him into stretcher. So just imagine things that you're doing, and then post it up, and based on what you are doing, he's gonna start doing, responding back to you, so that you guys just keep it going along with the people that might just be around you as well. And you don't have to ask him to get in your ambulance. You actually do have an option in your F6 menu you can, it'll say put in ambulance, put in vehicle. So you can just use that option. It'll put them in the back of your ambulance for you, and you just get on the road and off you guys go. So does that make any sense?
Yes.
Cool. If anybody wants to add anything, or if you have any questions on that.
Well, I mean, I would personally say too, don't be afraid to make an RP detailed and fun. Like I know a lot of people
Absolutely.
tend to just like run up and down the road really fast in a motorcycle and just cop bait. And I mean, in some instances, yeah, you might be out there speeding and get pulled over by a cop. But there's just so much more that we can do on the server, especially with the robberies they have set up. I mean, if you go into that Yellow Jack in the afternoon or evening, there's a ton of people in there. If you fight one person in that bar, the whole place turns into a bar. It's amazing. You can do so much within that, and you can make it so detailed. Like the other night, I stood in front of the door so the cops couldn't get in. I told them the bar was closed, but there's a guy inside, and I was with other people. So there's different things you can do to make fun, have fun.
Yeah, thanks. Well, there's a lot of many options that you can do. So like I don't know if you can see it right now. I just put a smell on myself, so people around me can really smell it. So you can do that by / set smell and then space and put in whatever you want to smell like.
Can you also do that for alcohol content too?
Alcohol content? What do you mean?
For BAC, can you do that for BAC also or no?
Oh, I'm looking into it. So because we have the optional needs script, if the cops actually check your alcohol content level, they will receive whether or not you're
Cool,
you have
awesome,
alcohol in
yeah.
you. Yeah, they can see it. If your screen goes all that funky and drunk, they're actually going to see that. But you can also put
Nice.
smell on yourself, so you can kind of start an RP. So if you are driving up and down the street and speeding, and you get pulled over, you feel free to set smell up, and get some kind of other conversation going on, and just like Kilo said, just be creative. Put some details in it, and see how they're going to respond to it, because you control where the scene goes.
Hey, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
How do you fall down like that? Like 88 did?
It's in the F3 animations menu. So I think that's the part you missed at the beginning. At the first category there is the role play category. Those are the most used, so they're for quick find. But if you go down to like festive and salutations, I think there's like is it in miscellaneous? Nope, not
Humor, the
miscellaneous.
fake suicide.
Oh, humor. There you go.
Yes, you could do fake commit suicide. It's under the home key.
I guess fake suicide, go to role play, then lay on chest. Or back.
So, and you can also go
Okay.
into an attitude, and you can change your attitude. So, like I set up injured, so you'll see the way I walk now.
Hey, Kilo,
So
you
I got an
should be on a
injured
dance
leg.
floor.
I'm trying to make that money, Goofy. Come on, throw me some.
So you can also change your attitudes. Like you got a depressive, normal, male, female, business, casual. You guys have the options. Sometimes what I suggest is that if you hop into server and there's not much going on, just kind of find yourself a nice quiet corner and go through these things. Play with them, find out what they do, learn how you can use them in an RP scenario in the future. You can take advantage of it. I've actually seen a lot of like public exposure and kind of scenarios created. I've watched them. I've actually been a part of it before, where you just need to remember, if you are creating something, somehow you need to let the rest of the server know. Don't just expect to be caught. Some of this stuff needs a little bit of a setup, and then some stuff just happens. So depends on how you want to get it going. Use the tweet, like I said, give little hints here and there, or just make an anonymous call using your phone somewhere near to your location, where you're initially gonna be. That way the cops can report to that location where they see nothing, but then when they see you doing things that you shouldn't be supposed to, then that'll get that RP started. So you can make an anonymous call and always get them interested in your area. You don't have to tell them what it is. You don't have to tell them who you are. But if you want an interaction, let them know. You don't have to, like Kilo said, you don't have to just run up and down and try to get caught. You can see how good they are on their investigation. You can see how good they are on observation. So you can always try to get them involved. Goofy, you got any more questions on the paramedic? We can just move on to the mechanic one really quick.
No, I'm good.
Okay, good. So what you can do sometime is just practice, man. If the server's quiet and you got nothing to do, you can do the same thing. Go find a NPC, beat him up so he lays on the ground, and just practice. Just talk, on your own.
Actually, I do actually have one question. I get 911 call and I get your thing and there ain't nobody there. How do I fix that?
So that could generally happen because they don't know. So if you get a 911 call and you just accept the call, they do not get a notification. So what I would suggest, put out a tweet or message, and just say, just very short and sweet, just say EMS on route, so they know that you're coming. No one wants to sit on the ground and dead and not play. So
right, but
you just
I'll be
let them know.
I'd be like a block away though, and they actually literally hear the sirens, and I can't find them nowhere. And then I have an officer on route, and they're like way out from the GPS system.
That's
sometimes
I can honestly say too that sometimes, like, the cop or the EMS will be standing directly on top of you and they can't see you.
Correct. That's the desync. Unfortunately, there will be times where you'll be somewhere else on your screen versus my screen. That does happen. So if that's the case, when you report to a location, just kind of start searching. Drive around or park your vehicle, walk around. You'll find them. They can't be too far. They're going to be somewhere around in that area, just because of the desync. Unfortunately, it still happens. It's a 5M thing. They haven't perfected the sync across all servers yet. It's a bit laggy here and there. And you can use messaging too. You can say, like, I can't find a person. Use the out of character /OOC, and just, hey, I can't find you. Where you at? I'm on site. But they should be able to write back to you, even if they're dead. So,
Skyler, there is one other thing I kind of wanted to say, man. And honestly, Goofy can tell you that too. Sometimes it's even fun too to set someone up for an RP that they don't know they're being set up for an RP. So you can get someone in your car with you, make anonymous calls, and force them into an RP. That is a lot of fun. I did it to Goofy twice in like the past 3 days, but it was fun.
Yeah, he framed me for weed and dope and everything else. I'm like, hey, wait. He even got me for like prostitution. I'm like, whoa.
Sky's the limit. I've actually told someone that they can just borrow my car. We were at a car dealer. and actually it was Andrew. It's the chief, the fire chief. I said, hey man, yeah, go ahead and grab my car and just head on out, and then I'll be right behind you. And there was actually an officer standing right there. So as soon as he took off, I just went to the officer and I said, hey, that guy just stole my car. But yeah, so you can set people up. They don't have to know, and you let them deal with it. Absolutely, that's all RP is about. That's all. It's just trying to get stuff going where sometimes it's expected and unexpected. It's because it's the results and the experience throughout the way that matters. So, okay, I'm just gonna quickly TP and switch my job so I can have access to the mechanic menu. I'll be right back.
Oh, I just realized our bikes over here are the same. Whose bike is over here with mine?
That's mine.
All right, so hey, while Skylar's going too,
You should know the
anyone
guy.
else here a civ role? Or are you guys like all cops and stuff, or are you guys civilians?
I'm a civilian.
All right, so I have an RP figured out too that is going to blow people's mind and make us money.
Ooh, I'm interested.
All right, so the more the merrier, especially because we're basically gonna like infuse them. So I want to set up an RP out at the bank where we rob the bank. We come out holding somebody at gunpoint. Once that person clears the scene, it was actually the person that had the money. They arrest all of us, but we were actually the guys. It's like a reverse, reverse hostage
Oh,
scenario.
yeah, I see what you mean. Wait, is he the dog?
That
No,
sounds
I'm
exciting.
Billy Bones. Gonna sing a song. Come on, man, sing. Goofy, sing, man, come on.
Nah, I'm good, man.
Hi, buddy.
That's what I need to haul my monster truck around in.
I know, right?
All right. Now the mechanic is here. All right. Who's the mechanic?
Me.
Excellent. All right. So, just like the EMS, mechanic is also a good RP enriching position because, for one, the emergency services will need you in case of like an accident or on a DUI case and stuff like that. They'll definitely need you move vehicles and such. But they're also the players can also be using you for the repairs and such. There's actually a lot of options to enlarge or enrich the RP scenario. I love mechanic. That's one of my favorite jobs. When I usually get a call, it's not just like showing up and fixing their car. Normally what I do is, and we can actually role play this one so that you guys can see how I would play this. So why don't we do this? Hazmat, we'll use your fantastic Lambo over there.
Stolen.
Let's do this.
It's got full coverage.
Excellent. And all the repairs today will be on my budget. Don't need to worry about it. So what we'll do is we'll play
I'm sorry.
a couple of scenarios.
Oh,
We'll do
man,
like
my
a
hat.
flat tire. Yeah, that pretty hat is gone.
Nice cornrows, dude.
So we'll do a flat tire, and then we're also gonna do like engine problems. So you guys can see how I would RP both of those. Actually, before you do that, I want to show you guys another function that we have in the game. So let's put the. Oh yeah, don't forget to move around every 30 minutes.
Here, hold on. Let's see if I can do it. Come on. Front tires slashed.
Got it.
There you go. That's what I was just going to show you. If you have a knife on you, you can slash people's tires. They're not going to burst immediately, but as soon as they start driving, they're going to have a blowout.
I did that to a cop
Anyway,
the other
so let's
night.
do that.
Got two of his tires.
Yeah.
If they're not looking.
That's why it's there for creating an
that's
RP
a good
scene.
idea. I could pop their tires and rob a store, and that'll.
I popped
you
two
know,
of them before
make them
he
lose
seen
time.
me.
That's actually
Yeah,
not a
if you
bad
can-
idea.
If you can get to their car before they shoot you,
Before they shoot
slice
you.
them.
He was looking for me around
So-
the rock formation by the billboard. I ran up top, and he ran on the backside. And I went out there, and he kept looking around in circles. His car was out in the middle of the road, and I went and got two of them before he found me.
Hazmat. I know what we can do, dude. We can set up one scene where the cops show up, we'll pop their tires, and then go rob it.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Because you have to repair.
Yeah,
their
there's-
Oh,
vehicle.
wait, we can't talk about this in front of Skylar. We gotta stop.
Okay.
He's a.
Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit, guys. It's all about creativity. Honestly, like just keep it realistic, though. Don't start doing crazy shit. Obviously, it just needs to be realism. But yeah, anything that could happen, you should make it happen in the server. That's what it's there for. So let's do this now. Mr. Hazmat, I'm gonna like report to your car, and then just we'll just RP this. So let's start with the blowout tire. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna hop back in my truck, and then I'll come behind you, and we'll start the RP.
Like a $200,000 car came in with 4 bulletproof tires.
How's it going, sir? You're the one who called for a car problems?
Yeah, I was showing off some burnout skills and blew my tires.
Damn, if I had a car like that, I would be doing burnouts too. You gotta deal with cops a lot on this baby?
Yeah, and half the time they can't catch me.
Oh, that makes sense. What do I gotta do to get a car like that? What do you do? Damn.
I'm the professional gambler.
Aha, some skills and some luck. Okay, got you. Well, let me see. I don't know if I have these exact tires in my truck. I'll go take a look. If you wanna shut her down, put it in park. I'll check and see what kind of tires we got.
I trust she's in good hands.
Yeah, these are racing tires. I don't have these exact, but I think I have patch kit. Let me just look in my truck really fast. Yep, I got a patch kit, so we'll patch her up, and that'll be enough to get you to the service station. And if you want, I can escort you there, or I can even tow you, but you should be able to drive right after this. Oh, my toolbox is not showing up. Okay, so in your F6 menu, you'll see that you can actually spawn items. And I think I know the problem is because I first logged in as an EMS, and then when I changed job mid-server, it actually does not load my items correctly. So if I came, you should be able to go ahead and hit your F6 menu and see if you can place that toolbox. It'll be at the bottom. Place objects, and then you'll see a toolbox. There you go. So that's what I normally do. I just kind of place it right in front of the car there.
Oh,
So it just kind of shows up like the toolbox there. Then I use that EMT observe animation there. So I lay down to the tire. All right, so now at this point, if the car really is damaged, if it does have problems, so this is where you use after you do a little bit of role play and setup, now we can do the F6 and repair. So then we really do repair his vehicle for him. But of course, it's a little different if we're doing like an engine issue. So I'm not going to do repair for now. Now we're just going to switch over to an engine issue. I'm not going to do the whole introductions again. So I'm just going to back it up from, all right, we'll take a look at your engine kind of thing.
How much should...
Go ahead.
How much should a mechanic actually charge on route? Because I guess one of the mechanics actually charged one person $30,000 for a mechanic's job.
Yeah, no, that's outrageous. So sadly, we do not have a mechanic business owner yet. So Goofy, or not Goofy, I'm sorry, Joey, if you want, like if you're interested in being the business owner, because all these jobs also have business ownership. So what we need to do is once we have a business owner, then they pretty much make the rules and they do the training for you. They tell you the prices and such. But it should be realistic. So for a tire change, patch kit is like $20, and then it's like a half an hour labor. With me, you choose the business, and then I will move you into the business owner position, so you actually will have access to that business society functions.
Gotcha.
But then you cannot change jobs, because if you change jobs, then you lose that, and then you go back to recruit.
Who has the strip club?
That's the
Who's got strip club? That's in.
Nicole actually owns the strip club.
Okay.
Yeah, she's the one who serves us drinks all the time. So, all right, we're gonna do the engine now. So let's just say you just told me that you're having engine problems. So, all right, do you mind if I just hop in and pop the hood?
No, you're fine.
So if you hop in the car and hit the M, that'll give you vehicle options. Because we're talking about realism, right? I mean, you need to be checking the engine. If they are having an engine, that's right, that's the trunk. Well, this is good RP. Oh man, I didn't know that this car headed in the back. Damn, look at that.
Oh, there it is. There's beauty. Is that a V? Does that say V12? It does.
Ooh, I might just have to borrow this.
You can take it for a spin. I don't mind.
I see in my future a lot of studying of car engines because I have no idea
Well,
about cars.
No, here's the fun part though, because this is like all fun, right? So I normally make shit up. I'm like, yeah, sir. Signal flute is running low, so we're gonna need to top that off. And also, I see that your combustion controller has issues, so we're gonna replace that as well. You okay with that?
That's fine. Go ahead.
All right. So then I just start typing in the chat. There you go. I mean, just remember, it's fun. You know, you don't have to literally type in what could be wrong. Just make it fun so people laugh and enjoy, and just make the scene last a little longer. That way, you're having fun, and then the person you're dealing with is having fun. And if they really do need that repair, then yeah, you're eventually going to have to just do your F6 and then the repair. Which at that point, then you deal with the price and then, you know, get them set up, and then they're on their way. Yeah, I do that a lot. I lean in front of my truck when I'm not working, and I usually smoke like that too. So there's actually like a ramp. That's an invisible ramp right there. That's why we're floating. But I've also replaced the flatbed in the new server as well. We'll have other ones.
Do you know when the new server will be up?
We did some testing last night. Everything looks really good. I have a couple more things to add. So actually, it's going to be definitely before the end of February. It's like 99% done. We only have a couple small things left to finalize.
Cool.
They're all gonna hate the gas mod.
We're gonna hate what?
The new gas mod. Rob told me about it.
Oh, I love it. It's more realistic.
I hate it.
No sense.
Yeah, this one is a little bit more detailed. We have new heads-up display for the vehicle, so the fuel percentage and stuff is a little different. We got both kilometers and miles per hour now, and AOP is a little different. We got peacetime when it's in effect. There's going to be no shooting and such. It's all blocked out, so it's got a lot more details. It's good, and it runs much smoother. It's going to be a good server. So, any questions on the mechanic?
Nope, not really.
Okay, use your imagination. That's all it's about, man. It's like, okay, you know, you want me to fix your engine? Yeah, let's open the hood. Let's take a look. And also remember this. If you see a car completely jacked up, you know, their body's all smashed and stuff. So obviously you cannot fix that car right on the spot. So don't be afraid to start telling people, hey, you know, we're not going to need to tow this to the shop. I can work on it in the next couple hours, of course, game hours, because that also creates an opportunity for them to start worrying about it. Because if they stole it, for one, they're going to be like, oh, well, no, don't worry about it then. I'll just call one of my buddy or something. So that kind of gives you a hint that there might be something wrong with that vehicle. So you can actually call it in, and you can be like, hey, I got this suspicious, person that won't let me take his car and this and that. Or they might just be like, oh no, that's okay, I don't care. You can take the car. I'm just going to walk, and they can start walking. So it gives them an opportunity to start something as well. Don't feel like you have to fix everything as you show up. You can be like, hey, I don't really have any body parts in my truck. I can't do the fix here. Do you mind if we just tow it? And you can ride along with me. And then you can just start another RP going that way. So use your imagination.
Hey, Joey. There might be a time or two that you might get a call, and the car is actually upside down.
Yeah, and that's fine. If you back up to it, when you do the tow command, if you can reach the driver's door, it'll actually flip it on the tow truck itself. Then you can unload it again, and it'll flip it for you. But there might be times where nothing is impossible. Just absolutely, no matter what we do, we're gonna have to, like ram the car or something. Where those will become like, okay, so this is out of character right now, and then you continue to RP, afterwards. So that just kind of happens. So with that, when you're playing civs, just remember, if you die, don't rush into reviving yourself. And if you want to play injury after you've been revived, just go ahead and use the lay on back or lay on chest, and let the EMS work on you, and just make stuff up and let them handle it for you. Anybody have any questions or comments, or want to talk about functions in the game?
Are there going to be more places for the mechanic to get the tow truck besides the city?
In the new server, yes.
Are you going to make it so there's a bank in Sandy Shores for us to rob? I mean, for us to deposit and withdraw money?
Good turnaround there. If I can figure out a kind of like a bank location, yeah, I can implement it.
Okay.
That's another thing that hasn't been set up yet. The car dealer at Sandy, we're gonna change that a little bit. So the car dealer in the Simeons in Los Santos, that's not gonna have luxury vehicles. It's only gonna have just the regular ones. And then Sandy is going to have different cars. Vice versa. I don't know which one's going to have which, but there's going to be a difference between the two dealers. So you need to go to one for other type of vehicles versus the other. Making it a little bit more interesting for everyone. And like I always say, guys, if you want to be a dedicated, more involved, part of the community, talk to me or talk to, other leads. We are always looking for business members, or business owners. We're always looking for, so you don't have to be just a player in here. Don't feel like, I don't see anybody as just a player, but don't feel like you have to do jobs to earn money, or, if you want to set up an RP and you need some help, talk to me. We can get you set up. We're also going to have, hopefully, the civilian director position filled in soon. And that's what they're going to be basically doing, is arranging all the large RP scenarios where it's going to be like a server-wide RP scenarios and stuff.
I actually don't want to be EMS. I'm only doing EMS long enough just to get enough money put away so I can actually start my own business as a limousine driver.
Sure, you can. We do have the official taxi department. You most certainly can own that business. as well.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that $250,000 that the limousine is, but I don't know if that's going to be the same price as the new server.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit that. I meant to hit E. So, Goofy, you don't need to buy the limousine for that job. I can put the limousine into the job menu. All you have to do is you need to be an employee, so you can have access to the limousine. You don't have to buy it.
All right, because that's pretty much all I was waiting on. Yeah, because that's all I was pretty much waiting on was the money to get the limousine started.
Yeah, those vehicles that are sold for, those are for personal use. But of course, we do have. I mean, you can do Uber business as well. And you guys probably don't know this, but if you hop into any of the vehicles here and you hit the control, is it control G? Try that. It'll open up a taxi meter.
Total fare meter, fare type.
Yeah. Yep. So what you do is once you pick up a person, you just need to activate it once the person is in. That way it actually appears on their screen as well, and you can set up your fare. You can set it up flat rate, or you can set it up per miles driven kind of thing.
Well, I'll take the longest way ever.
Yeah, I know, right?
Google Docs needs to be set up for all of these.
So if I did like the per mile, what's actually a legit way to do it without like making it sound like a ripoff?
Like $5 per mile.
All right.
Does anyone want
or you
to
can
test
just
it
do
out
it.
with me?
Yeah, hop on in there and play with it. Yeah, wait till I get in. All right, so do the Control G now.
All right, let me close it. Control G. So you can see it.
Yep,
Goofy,
it
you
popped
can
up.
also charge a flat pickup fee too, and then for each mile.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You can do that. Yeah, right now it's not telling me how much you're charging per mile. So if you update it, it might. Oh, you got a flat rate. Okay. You'll see that it'll tell you. You can change it.
Yeah, I was thinking about maybe $10 a mile, only because it's like a
so
limousine.
You can change the setting.
Oh, motherfucker! Where did they go?
Wherever he went, he drove away with his hood up.
No, that's funny.
The hood
Okay,
is
now
Hey, your
still up.
hood.
Yeah, now
Your
it went
hood's
back
up.
to 0, but I do have now $5 a mile.
Yeah, I have this something in my thing. It says resource time warning. It's like in the bottom right of my corner.
Yes, that does happen. Which resource is it saying?
Police job is taking 6.20 FPS.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct.
OG.
Darn them police.
That's weird. I can't type in chat anymore. Can somebody?
Yeah, I can't
type?
either.
It's weird. What the hell happened?
Hit F10. It resets it.
Oh, that's
Nope, it didn't work either.
Yeah, that's weird. I cannot type anymore.
Maybe server's about to crash.
No, not my beautiful bike.
Yesterday or the day before it crashed, I logged out.
I do not know what's going on.
Looked fine, like around 1 in the morning, I'd say.
We'll try to leave it, come back.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do too. But so before I leave, if you guys have any other things you want to talk about, I'll just hang out. But you don't feel like you have to stand around here. Thanks for your attendance. I hope that
have
was good
something to say
information.
before.
Yeah, please.
I have something to say before everybody leaves. If you press Shift H on your keyboard, that'll change your voice settings to shout, normal, or whisper. That is also a good thing for RP as well.
That's correct. Thank you for mentioning that. In the new server, I actually put that right above where it says voice. All right, I'm gonna do a relog, see if I fix my text.
I'm gonna get out of here. I got some other things to do.